Do you know how they catch monkeys in Africa? They use this small jar, and the jar is filled with delicious nuts that the monkeys would eat. Monkeys are so intelligent. It's very difficult to catch them. So they keep this jar under a tree where monkeys would gather. So one or two monkeys, they come there and they're so curious and they want to experience that taste of that nut. What they do is they put their hand on that jar. Actually, the opening of this jar is bit small, so they have to struggle to put their hand in, and they grab the nut and they want to take it out, but unfortunately, they are unable to. They are unable to take the hand out with the nut in it. So they're trying and trying and trying. And even though they try so hard, they are not willing to give up either. They are not willing to give up that nut. So they stay there until the hunters arrive and catch them. So think about this for a moment. Don't you have those moments where you feel like that monkey, that enticed monkey that don't want to let go of the nut, but they are trying so hard to take the hand out, but they can't. We are all just like that. Actually, mind is just like that. A mind that is tainted with ignorance. A mind that is tainted with the lack of understanding of this truth is just like that monkey. Only when you let go, only when this mind understands the truth, the reality in this world, that is when it is letting go. Only when you let go, you can take that hand out of the jar easily. But if you are not willing to let go, then you are trapped until the hunters come. Think about this. So, we met again with another episode of Anger No More. How was your week? Was it good? Was it well spent with your loved ones, with your family, or with your friends, with the studies? I hope it did. So, last time we discussed about understanding this anger. I hope you had some time to apply it in your day to day life. The scenarios where you experience anger, frustrations, and the disappointments are like treasures. These are not obstacles in your life. These are opportunities for you to apply this theory and make it your life. Your life is a lab, and you are the researchers. You are in this lab of life where you can always put this, what we learn here, and put that into action and understand it. You know how they say that wisdom is not the knowledge. The knowledge put into action is the wisdom. Whatever that you know, whatever that you learn here will not going to help you eradicate the anger once and for all. But if you are willing to change yourself, if you are willing to apply this and think about it for a moment, at the moment where you feel angry, then you are winning. You are winning the anger. You will become victorious one day, and I can guarantee that. So think about this moment. I was thinking, in my lay life, I have this nice experience. One day, I was there trying to watch a movie. So I was well prepared with some popcorns in my hand, and I had all the time in the world to watch this movie. I was waiting for it until it is released. So I was so hopeful. I was feeling really happy that I get this opportunity to watch it. So at this very moment that I started to watch it and my hopes get built up within me, all of a sudden the current went off and I could no longer turn on the TV. Do you know that feeling? How do you like it? Do you know that exact same feeling that you get at that moment? What do you call it? Disappointment? Frustration? Maybe anticipation? But do you really like it? Would you believe if I say that the entire 2 hours that you are spending in front of the TV trying to watch that movie, every moment I'm going to say, every moment is filled with that feeling. Do you agree with me? When you have this beautiful book that you waited for it for so long until it get released, so finally you went to the bookshop and you bought it and you really like it. So you started to read it and you are reading it. Every page is a cliffhanger. Every page. And the last page that where there are two people trying to get together finally at the end, and that page is missing. What do you feel? Is it a happy feeling that you feel at that moment? That you want to know how it ends but you can't? That particular feeling is what we call the vexation. That particular feeling is not positive, is it? It bothers you, it agitates you. And we don't like that feeling, but believe me when I say that every page is a cliffhanger. The moment that you turn this page and turn to the next page, that is when you experience this vexation. But we will never understand that until you find that one page is missing at the end. Until the current goes off and your TV is off now. Until that happens, you don't understand that every moment was a cliffhanger. Think about this. The next time that you sit in front of your favorite food, every bite is a cliffhanger. Every moment that you try to watch the movie is a cliffhanger. That's why if you are a young boy or a girl, if your mother calls you for dinner, dear son, come for the dinner. It's ready, it's served. But you are not ready to take your eyes out of the TV, are you? Why is that? Because every moment is a cliffhanger. Every moment you're waiting what will happen next. Are you satisfied at that moment? Are you happy at that moment? Then why are you saying that you can be happy by watching a movie? Then why are you saying that you will become happy by reading that book? If every page is a cliffhanger, if every page is filled with that anticipation, that vexation, is that the happiness? Is that the real happiness that you're after? Then I'd say that happiness is overrated. I'd say that it's not worth it. All this effort, all the time that you spend to maybe go and earn some money, earn some pocket money, collect those pocket money to buy the book. Maybe you waited 3 months until it gets released. All that waiting, it's not worth it, is it? If every single moment is actually a cliffhanger. So let's talk about these moments today to understand this better. So we talked about this word vexation, that feeling that you feel, that anticipation, that urge, that longing that you feel in your mind. We don't like it. We call it a negative feeling. What comes after that? Do you know what comes after that? All of a sudden, the current is turned off on now. The current is turned on, and you can again watch the movie. At that very moment, you feel a relief, don't you? You get this pleasurable feeling. You get this relief in your mind. Ah, finally. What is that? Do you like that feeling? Of course you do. Our entire lives, that's the feeling that we experienced, and we call that the happiness. Of course, the happiness that we know. We were in pursuit of that happiness. We chased after that. But do you know that that particular feeling is covered with that negative feeling that we talked earlier? The cliffhanging moment. It is always followed by a cliffhanger. It is always followed by an anticipation. This feeling that you call happiness is always followed by the expectation, the frustration. So you cannot take it out and you cannot experience it fully because there's always this feeling that will it go away? What will happen next? What if? Fear. You can never experience a pure happiness. This happiness that we know is not a real happiness. It is just a relief at that very moment from that negative feeling. So, what is the cause for this then? You know, I told this story about the monkey. At that very moment that the monkey put his hand on the jar and grabbed this nut, at this very moment, you are trying to take the arm out, but you can't. But you are not ready to let go of the nut either. At this very moment, what does the monkey feel? That is the vexation. But you are not ready to let go. Only because you are holding that, you are grabbing that nut, you experience this frustration. If you can let go that nut at that very moment, that is the victory. So it's because you are grabbing it, it's because you are grasping it. You feel this feeling. So the reason for this particular feeling that you experience is actually called attachment. Attachment is the cause for it. Because you are not ready to let go, you can't let go. You want it. You long for it. Now, I want you to think about your real life experiences with this. Is it not true that when you argue with someone, you are saying so many things to prove that you are right? At that very moment, are you ready to let go of that particular idea that you have? Are you ready to surrender, submit to that person? Of course not. Why? Because you are attached to it. You don't want to let it go. That is the attachment that I am talking about. Think about another moment where you are going shopping and there's this beautiful dress that you want to buy, but you can only find it in a smaller size. So you're waiting for the salesperson to find whether it is available in your size in the stocks. But at that very moment, are you willing to go home, accept defeat? You can't. Because you are vexing, because you have this feeling of anticipation. It is caused by this attachment to this dress. So then, what is the cause for this negative feeling, the vexation? It is the attachment to it. So today we are going to talk about how this attachment causes the vexation, and this vexation that you feel is getting built up every single moment. And when it goes beyond a certain level, we try to put it all out with words or actions. That is when we call it as anger. the disappointments, the resentment. Every single time that this vexation goes beyond a certain point, that is when we call it the feeling of anger. So, what is the cause then? So we talked about this anticipation, or we call it frustration, and we call that feeling like dissatisfaction. And what is the cause for this? Of course, the cause is attachment. This is the culprit. The monkey that tried to get out that nut, who is the culprit? Is it the monkey? No. The feeling that you don't want to let go of the nut, that is what is causing this monkey to get caught. That is the attachment. But if you let go of the attachment, if you are willing to let go of this nut, then what happens? Then all these feelings, this is the doomage, right, for the monkey. So you will never get caught if you let go. But letting go is a very difficult process if you don't understand this, because letting go is not something that you can do. Letting go happens when you understand this truth. When you know that all these negative feelings that you get are because of attachment, and when you know why this attachment occurs, that is when you find the solace. That is when you find the true deliverance from these feelings, these negative feelings, of course. So, understanding is the key. So, let's take another example, your day to day life examples. Imagine the last time that you were in an argument with one of your colleagues. You wanted it a certain way, and your colleague wanted it another way. But you are not ready to let go. You are arguing over and over again. And finally, you just become so agitated, so frustrated, you shout at them. Now, that is the worst case that could happen. So, at that very moment, think about this. Try to think, why am I feeling this way? Why? That's the $1,000,000 question. Why? What is the reason behind this feeling? So this week, I want you to focus on that. Try to find out the cause, which we know is the attachment, but try to find out how you feel this attachment, how this attachment leads to wanting it more, and how it leads to this feeling of anticipation, and how it gets built up, the frustration, the vexation gets built up, and at one point how it goes out, how it blows out, and how it becomes the shouting words, the hurt feelings, and the bottomless chasm of regret, remorse. So let's meet again with another episode. Until then, let's use our lab of life to research about these feelings. The true deliverance is just around the corner.